Movie starts with Matthew Kidman, a determined senior at Westport High School, really wants to become a politician someday. He's thrilled to get into Georgetown University, but the cost is a big problem. He needs a huge scholarship to make it work. As graduation approaches, he realizes he hasn't done much memorable stuff in high school. But then he meets Danielle, his attractive neighbor. She's wild and he's more reserved, but they fit together perfectly and fall for each other right away. But things get complicated when Matthew finds out from his friend Eli, who's into adult movies, that Danielle used to be an adult film star named Athana. After listening to Eli's suggestion on how to handle a surprising truth, Matthew brings Danielle to a cheap motel. Danielle figures out that Matthew knows about her past and responds by doing a striptease and making a sexual advance towards him. Matthew gets upset and wonders why she's doing this for him. Danielle accuses him of having ulterior motives and breaks up with him on the spot. The next day, Matthew tries to patch things up with Danielle at her place, but discovers she's going back to working in adult films and leaving town with her ex, Kelly, who's a porn producer. Matthew feels really bad about something and goes to Las Vegas to find Danielle. He sees her at a convention for adult films. There, a guy named Kelly warns Matthew not to mess with his business. Matthew talks to Danielle and convinces her not to go back to making adult films. But then Kelly kidnaps Matthew from school and hurts him. Kelly is mad because Danielle didn't show up for work and it cost him a lot of money. He tells Matthew to steal something from another producer's house to pay off the debt. Matthew does it, but then Kelly calls the police on him and leaves. Matthew barely escapes and hurries to a dinner where he's supposed to get a scholarship. He's on drugs that Kelly said were aspirin, and he gives a really emotional speech. But he doesn't get the scholarship because someone else gets it. Someone who seems like the old Matthew before he met Danielle, all boring and passionless. Kelly then steals $25,000 to get his money back. Matthew raised money to send Sam Nang, a bright kid from Cambodia, to study in the U.S. At one point, Matthew had introduced Kelly to the bank employees as his student advisor, not wanting to have to explain his connections to the adult film industry. Despite his innocence, Matthew still worries that his unintentional involvement in the scam may result in expulsion or worse, so he turns to Danielle for support. A few of Danielle's porn star buddies show up when she phones them, and they decide to film a Hugo Porsche video on prom night and around the school. After they finish filming and Eli leaves with the main tape, Danielle and Matthew get intimate for the first time in their limo. The following morning, Matthew is startled to see Kelly sitting at the dining room table with his parents and the principal of the school, holding the tape he took from Eli's house. Kelly requests a private meeting with Matthew and threatens to play the tape right away if he doesn't receive half of the proceeds. Following Danielle's prior recommendation to merely accept it, Matthew declines, arguing that Sam Nang is the legitimate owner of the money. Kelly issues another threat, but Matthew defends himself and issues a challenge, declaring that he has given up on his now-ruined future. It becomes evident as the tape plays that Matthew and his buddies have produced a full progressive sex education tape as opposed to a pornographic movie. With no more cards left to play, Kelly finally admits defeat. Hugo Posh and Matthew earn lots of money from the video. Hugo does what he promised and helps Sam Nang go to the USC, while Matthew can afford to go to Georgetown University and bring Danielle with him. The last part shows Matthew arriving at Georgetown in a fancy car. Matthew's tale finishes with him getting the girl he loves and a shot at the future he's been dreaming of. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to share this video with your friends, and I will see you soon in the next video.